got you. And if you don't live in the state of Florida, I still got you. Okay. I'm coming to you today to answer some questions. I had put out a poll on Instagram and Facebook asking questions on what are some things that you don't know that you would have if you're trying to buy a house or trying to sell a house. You know, whatever questions you have that pertain to real estate. I didn't get as much questions as I thought I would get. Y'all must know it all, right? Just kidding. But for real, I didn't get as much engagement as I thought I would get. I got a couple questions, so I'm gonna go through that and give you some answers and advice from what I know. But I want to encourage you guys to, you know, when I put this poll out, it's so I can put out information for you. You know, I want to give you information. I don't want to give you information that you don't care about, you don't want to know. I want to give you information that you're interested in, something that, you know, would spark interest in your brain and be like, oh, you know, that's cool, that's good to know, yada yada yada. So just make sure that, you know, when I'm putting these things out, you guys are actively engaging in these posts so I know what you want to hear and I'm giving you information that pertains to you. So without further ado, let's get into these questions. So the first question I got was, do you need a high credit score to buy a house? Now, the answer to that is the higher the score, the better, but you do not need a high credit score. And it depends on, you know, what you consider a high credit score. What you have in your credit file determines on what your interest rate is going to be, how much you're going to qualify for. Of course, you know, your debt to income ratio, all that factors in. So it's not a just one-stop shop. If you have good credit, you're automatically gonna, you know, be approved for a loan. That is not the case. Okay, people can have a 580 anywhere. FHA, they do, you know, allow 580. Some don't, some do, but it is possible. You can have a 580 and have your debt to income ratio really low. Boom, you get qualified. Or you could have a 650 credit score, but your debt to income ratio is too high. You might get qualified, but your interest rate is going to be stupid high. Or they might just say, I'm going to need you to fix some things first. You know, so it just depends on what you got and what comes along with it. You know, face value, you just see a score, but there's always a story behind that score. And lenders usually want to know, what's your story? You know, what's your risk like? Because they're taking a risk lending you this money. That's a lot of money. A house is the biggest purchase you're going to make. So lenders want to make sure that, one, they're going to get their money back. And two, they don't want to have to hunt you down to get your, excuse me, to get their money back. So that's that. I mean, it's not a really cookie cutter yes or no. It's just more of it all depends. That's why when you reach out to a realtor or you reach out to a lender and you're like, hey, you know, I have an interest in buying a house. This is what I'm working with. What can we do? So it's all on a case by case basis. So reach out to your preferred lender, your preferred realtor, whoever you have. If you don't have anybody, I'm more than happy to help. Or if I'm not in your area, I can refer somebody to you, and we can get that started. The second question that I got was, how much money do you need to put down? And that's also not a cookie cutter answer either. What you put down depends on multiple things. It depends on what your purchase price is, what kind of loan you have. If you're getting FHA, it's usually 3.5%. Conventional can be anywhere between 3% if you have a good lender like I do. Anywhere from 3% to 20%. You know, obviously the more you put down, the better, and the lower your mortgage cost is going to be. But you know, for people who just starting out and they need, you know, you got to start somewhere. It just all depends. It all depends. If you have a $250,000 house and you get a conventional loan and you get approved, you know, your credit score is just the bomb.com, and you get a conventional loan, say you get that 3% down. You're only putting that 3% down of the $250,000 plus, you know, your closing costs and any fees like the origination fees and all the fees that they don't tell you about before you buy a house that just pops up, but it's there. So it just all depends. It depends on everything. How much money you're putting down for the earnest money deposit. Like, there's just so many factors that when you sit down and you're serious, hey, I want to buy a house, let me talk to a realtor or let me talk to a lender. These are things that we will go over with you, and we will give you your numbers that's based off of your story, what you want, what you qualify for, what your market is like, what area you're in. Everything is dependent on you. There's no general, you can't say it's a general statement, but that's not, it's just an estimate. That's not something that you should take and run with it. You know, don't take it and just run with it and say, oh, I need $10,000. I have $10,000. I can buy a house now. I mean, you can buy a house with just $400 in your pocket. You can buy a house and have, you know, depending on what kind of house you want to buy, but you could have $10,000 and still not have enough. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. But if you're serious about buying a house and you're serious about learning your pathways on how to get there, that's why I say speak to a realtor, someone you trust. Speak to a lender, someone, you know, of course with lenders, I say shop around, because you can get one answer from one person and go to another person and get, you know, a completely different rate, better rate, mortgage. You go to this person and they're charging you 20% and they want buku money down. But then you go to this person, they're just like, yeah, just give me $500 and your mortgage would be blah, 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 blah. So it just depends. Okay. Down payment assistance. Now, because of COVID, I hate to say it, but COVID did mess up a lot of things. And all these grants that they were given for down payment assistance and any type of assistance for new, you know, first-time home buyers and all that, it kind of put it to a stop. So my recommendation is don't rely on it. If it's there, great. You know what I mean? Perfect. Yes, give me. But if it's not there, it's cool. I got this. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on where you at. I wouldn't rely on it. I would definitely reach out to lenders and let them know that you're interested in the program. But I wouldn't rely on it, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? That's just my advice. I mean, somebody might tell you something different, but all I can give you is my advice. If you guys have any other questions, drop it in the comments. Send me DMs, send me an email, send me a text message, let me know. This is what excites me. This is what I like. I like answering these questions. I like, you know, leading you in the right direction. Let's all be homeowners. Let's do it. Hit me up. Once again, I just ask that you guys are engaging. Just engage. It doesn't hurt. It's free. It ain't costing you no money to comment a question that I know you have, because you put it in Google. So you might as well put it in my comment section and you'll get an answer. What's the issue? Hello. So you could go ahead and follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, Julestherealty. I post a lot of content, real estate content, and also, you know, just personal things, You'll see me act crazy, look crazy. You know, be fun. You gotta be fun with it. Can't be so boring and uptight. So yeah, catch you on the flip side next video. Let me know if you have any suggestions, anything that you want to know, anything that you want to see. Just let me know, and I got you.